Punisher versus Jack Reacher. Two of the best fighters, two of the most formidable warriors, two of the biggest dudes that you're ever gonna see. Today, well, they're going at it here against each other. So, who's coming out on top? Who's gonna win it all? Let's get into it. Frank Castle was a reconnaissance Marine, and eventually he was chosen along with numerous other American Special Forces to become part of a special Black Ops program dubbed Cerberus. Eventually, Frank left the program, and due to his knowledge of its illegality, his family was gunned down, and thus, the Punisher was born. After being a Marine for years, Castle was in the prime of physical condition, crazy strong, fast, and tough. He was able to overpower Daredevil in their fights. He was able to generally ragdoll normal fighters around all the time. Punisher even gave a decent beatdown to Kingpin. Frank is also surprisingly fast during a fight. He's able to evade gunfire, keep up with Daredevil in a fight, instantly disarm thugs. Punisher is even able to gun down several men in an instant, even though all those guys had their guns already trained on him. But where Punisher truly shines has to be his durability and endurance. This guy is just the ultimate damage sponge, just soaking up all the punishment that one man can endure and still going. He took a beatdown from Daredevil, took a beatdown from Kingpin. He was tortured by the Irish mob and fought right afterwards, was tortured again to the point where it looks like he was run over by a train, and still fought right afterwards. He's regularly able to shrug off bullets or cuts and stabs, and then go on to kill everyone else around him. And as a former US Marine with years of experience, Castle is an extremely skilled, formidable, fierce, and lethal martial artist and hand-to-hand combatant, making him one of the most dangerous and best fighters on the planet. He was able to keep up with Daredevil, one of the best martial artists in the MCU, during their two fights. He was able to beat up John Pilgrim in an absolutely brutal fight, a highly skilled and lethal fighter. And on top of that, Punisher's able to completely fodderize most of the people he goes up against, clearing whole rooms of men, taking down several of them in quick succession or killing people in seconds, even beating several trained assassins or highly skilled killers at once, all by himself. A former scout sniper, Punisher is also an extremely skilled and accurate marksman, with tremendous expertise and experience in handling many types of firearms, including pistols, revolvers, automatic rifles, shotguns, submachine guns, sniper rifles, machine guns, or even grenade launchers. Due to his military training, Castle is a deadly shot, and adheres to his unit's philosophy of one shot, one kill. He's able to take down gangs and whole groups of people with military precision, easily plowing through other highly skilled soldiers and killers, even taking down whole death squads all by himself. Major Jack Reacher is an Army veteran who commanded the 110th Special Investigations Unit of the Military Police. When he retired, he chose to travel the country as a drifter. But Reacher just can't seem to stop getting in trouble and helping out those who can't help themselves. Reacher is an absolute unit. The guy is extremely strong. He's said to be as strong as 3 grown men. He's able to easily overpower pretty much anyone he goes up against. I'm talking breaking bones or even snapping necks with ease. He's also essentially just as tough as he is strong. He can take most attacks and honestly act like he doesn't even feel them. While he is a bit faster, more agile than he might appear, Reacher definitely isn't the fast guy in the bunch just because of his size, power over speed. And Reacher isn't just a gigantic Hulk. He's also a highly skilled and incredibly dangerous fighter. While often use his massive size and strength to simply overpower anyone in his way, that doesn't negate his skill. He might not be a master in any one form of fighting, but thanks to his military training, he's able to incorporate a whole bunch of different fighting styles and kind of mold them into one. On top of that, Reacher is a ruthless fighter and will do anything it takes to win the fight, with his favorite moves being headbutts, elbow strikes, and kicks down there. He's got no problem fighting dirty, using anything around him as a weapon. His only real goal in a fight is to end the fight as quickly as possible. Like Reacher himself puts it, the other guy cares how he wins. I care about pissing on the other guy's grave. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, these are two of the world's greatest soldiers and killers, both bred and born to dominate fights. Now, when it comes to physicality, they're really evenly matched. I mean, we've seen Punisher do some absolutely crazy stuff, go up against Kingpin, snap necks, ragdoll around grown men. He's an absolute menace in a fight. He's got that dog in him for sure. On the other hand, well, Reacher is said to have the strength of 3 men. He's regularly just been overpowering pretty much everyone who comes in his way and making it look easy. And plus, he's just legitimately bigger and has a whole lot more muscle mass. But even if Reacher probably is stronger, Frank has enough fight in him that he's going to make this a really hard contest. But what about durability? Well, both of these guys' durability is just simply off the charts. The amount of punishment that we've seen them take and yet not die and still keep on going is absolutely insane. But while Reacher can definitely take a hit, Punisher has pretty much transcended into becoming basically superhumanly tough. He's just simply a damage sponge. There's no amount of punishment he can't take and keep on fighting. If he has his eyes set on killing you, well, absolutely no amount of pain is going to stop him from doing just that. And while Reacher might have this strength advantage and just a way bigger guy, the flip side is that Punisher can be the faster fighter, and Punisher actually gets some great scaling when it comes to speed, gunning down 6 men in an instant, even though they all had their guns trained on him, or even fighting against Daredevil, a guy who can regularly dodge bullets even at point-blank range. Then he's just routinely aim dodging and moving around other skilled marksmen. But the problem is, Frank also kind of fights like a man possessed and just empowered with pure rage, meaning he doesn't really utilize his speed while in a fight. But make no mistake, he is faster than Reacher. So it's kind of hard to compare style versus style when it comes to these two because, well, they're really, really similar. See, Reacher is purposely deflecting attacks then going for the kill. Each movement is incredibly efficient and purposeful, while Punisher gets some great scaling from Daredevil off the high end, which is a huge boost for him. He's also a lot like Reacher. Each movement is incredibly efficient and purposeful. But on the other hand, well, sometimes he operates off mostly just rage. I don't want to undersell Frank's skill. He's incredibly skilled. But sometimes in fights, he fights more like a bull or a junkyard dog, just rampaging and relying on his strength and durability to carry him through. And while neither fighter is above fighting dirty, Frank tends to lean into the brutality a bit more than Reacher does. So, just in a hand-to-hand fight or a knife fight or something like that, well, it's really, really close. Reacher is a skilled fighter, and he holds some physical advantages over Punisher. Problem is, well, Punisher is just too dang tough and too ferocious, and he himself is really skilled and strong. But the amount of punishment that we've seen the Punisher take, well, it's borderline superhuman. I'm talking hits to the head that would kill a normal person, some serious torture, or even broken bones. Then he's able to simply walk it off and plow his way through groups of armed soldiers and assassins. Punisher isn't leaving the fight out some serious battle damage. But I think he's got what it takes to put Reacher down, even though Reacher is a giant and definitely holds that strength advantage. Now, in a gunfight, well, it's a much easier win for Punisher. Reacher certainly has some skill with a gun in his hand, but Frank is the elite of the elite. His gun skills are arguably up there with someone like John Wick. He's way more accurate, way faster on the draw, and honestly, just has way more experience with gunfighting in all sorts of different situations. Punisher is definitely better in this area. It's a tough fight. Reacher is a seriously hard out. But end of the day, well, the Punisher is taking it. The Punisher wins.